most of you were asleep, so I didn't want to wake you up. So now we are slowly approaching the town of Patra. We said the second biggest. The Italian ports I was telling you. My name? More than 12 hours. Σε ρωτάει ένας Αλβανός. Πόσα πήγε η Ελλάδα? Use the restrooms of the museum. There is a course to use the restrooms. There that you are on the left side, you will see the fortress when we cross the bridge. Those of you who are on the right, you will see the fortress very soon. Do you know who was not satisfied with the construction of the bridge? The ship owners. Who are running out of business now, of course, because everybody is crossing the bridge with their cars and their motorcycles, and they don't use their boats anymore. Look, their boats, they're just waiting there. Yeah, look at the boats on the right side. They're running out of business now.
Which is the plaza? The plaza. You can see the castle.
On your right hand side, nations, you already know that they had their castles on top of the hills, but this here were to control trade.
Venetian castle.
Venetian castle.
To control the boats. The bridge is the biggest cable bridge in the world.
Under the trees, it's very pretty. The harbor is on your right hand side. It's one of my favorite places. Look, the cafeterias, people enjoy a cup of coffee, or they have fresh food, fresh seafood. That symbolizes, the boy over there, it symbolizes freedom. Very pretty.
Όλοι σταμάτησαν εδώ.
Να σου πω, σου φέρει δηλαδή από Πάτρα να έρθω για να πάω στο Θέρμο,
Natakos, Tatosa. Matatos.
Τσάκι μου κρυώνει. Θα δείξει το δρομέα.
Όχι. Σφαίρα. Αυτό προς την ώρα μου που σιγά.
Εντάξει, άλλο να σου τύχω εγώ τώρα και να πεις την εδρική είναι δικαιωτική κίνηση.
Είναι καλά.
Και να στάρω.
Καραβέλα. Είναι.
Χελώνα.
Είναι μέτα. Να πέσει αυτό.
Αλλά μετά το γύρω από κάτω. Αλλά
Writing down.
Fish farms on your right-hand side. The area is known for mussels. I've never done it, guys. I've never done it. No, it's the way they did.
Which is more
The fishing village near Mapatos.
También que tenía el país pues
A married couple in the city of Thebes, and they had a son. He went back to himself, saying that all these years he could see with his eyes, but he saw nothing. Now he will be as he could have taken Itea. It's a town by the water. If you don't take seafood, don't worry about it. They will have Reason why there are different varieties of olives. As I told you, they will soak them in lye to remove the bitter taste.
Olive trees.
That will be approximately for 2 weeks. And then they're going to put the olives inside.
The things that get on the thing.
Sunday, October 6th, we are in Delphi.
Take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No taking no person.
yes, do you have a ticket? Here? Do you have a, all of you have a ticket?
Visiting the sanctuary of Apollo.
Zeus was so angry with the Greeks that he threw one huge piece of rock from Mountain Olympus, and that rock landed here in Delphi. That people were taking political decisions. They were not politicians, but they were wealthy. And those people here, and they destroyed the place. I will give you an example, because here I have an example. Again, those gray columns, the columns that supported the roof of a rectangular low building. That was built 600 years before Christ. Forget about the bricks.
Greek
which is
alphabet.
still spoken. In the world, the two most ancient languages is Hebrew and they didn't have the papyrus. The papyrus was they didn't have any papyrus. That was the way that they did of the treasuries.
Navel of the earth. That's up
Since the
stone follow
oracle
through.
was very popular anyway, right? After everything, those objects, besides extracted, at least because that was the lower level and it was empty, they brought all those treasuries that they had from the other cities here. The Athenians, when they defeated the Persians in Marathon in 490 BC, brought the coins and the pieces of jewelry that they took inside that treasure.
Ruins of the treasuries.
Fighting, and they wanted their city to be the supreme city, each other like that. Nobody had the marble piece in the middle. You can tell it's marble authentic, but what about the new? Generally speaking, wherever you see something shiny or in a very good condition, we have the authentic ones.
Plaster model of the treasuries.
The frigate. The we know that the frigate was something that they would use in order to separate the metopics, the carnage. Not really great. So maybe it was just read. It's another sanctuary, the column, and it used to have on top a sphinx. A sphinx was an offering that the people from the island of Naxos brought here, entirely built of white, shiny marble. They brought it here from the to Apollo. They outnumbered people. There was another one somewhere here. That path did not exist, as you understand, as it is nowadays. That was the place where they together in order for the city
Straw
states.
of everything.
City state. They're trying to have everybody, all the decisions would start from here. They made it for just 50. So far we have seen a store of the Athenians, a treasury of the Athenians, more than 2 monuments of the Athenians. What do we understand by that? And look, there are more inscriptions here. This is ancient Greek. This is authentic.
Greek
In
alphabet.
Delphi, and they got a prophecy. Is that enough? Not really. Not really. There is an inscription. So the
Altar where animals were sacrificed.
it's very long. And the fact that you read something like that, it's like many of our people when they come Apollo. The proof that the Romans were here is where?
In the bricks. No.
Okay. Good enough. It could have been from the early Christians, the bricks as well. Not only, but
Temple of
we are
Apollo.
not very certain that they did one exactly ideal place
Temple of Apollo.
for the Romans, who were used in.
And it says you're not supposed to climb it. So.
Yeah?
Some of them, because they were excavated here, in order to make sure that they will have his support. Those statues, they were a member of the family. So probably they all together went to... They asked and they brought them here. These were excavated right here, where we are at the moment. You are going to see all that in the museum. So if you're wondering, what kind of to have children with another woman, ordered that the goddess of pain is going to disappear the moment that Leto would give birth to her children. So Leto decided to go to the island of Delos, which is nearby Mykonos, and she gave birth to her twins inside the lake. It's amazing that now how many Hollywood stars, they are giving birth inside water in order to avoid pain. So we have it in our mythology that Leto, the mistress of Zeus, she did give birth inside a lake because the island that they were born. He established him. In your free time, you can. That one is of secondary importance comparing to the
where the
theater of
theater was.
Epidaurus. That
The Apollo, the oracle existed probably somewhere at the
Yes.
base of the Apollo temple.
Instead of meeting.
The theater.
몰라요? 피가 여기가 많이
It's beautiful. We're from the Oracle in Delphi on the way up to the
Theater, stadium.
stadium. Athletics.
The view of the theater from the top. The theater. They used to hold a game rivaling the Olympic Games in honor of Apollo and named after the priestess.
Okay. Okay. Get what I
That's what I wanted. Yeah, he said it was time. It's only been 9 years since my facelift. I said, this is crazy. 9 years is a long time. It's supposed to be 5. No, it's supposed to be 10. Pleasant.
Sinus, tris.
Nice pictures here. There's some nice pictures.
And he will come and pick us up from the museum. I'm planning to finish in about an hour, and this is just the beginning of sculpture. It was made in Greece.
Sphinx.
The marble, the Acropolis, was built in the classical period. Here we are about 200 archaic. The column is an I decorate always the temple or in the ruins that was very strong. The priestess of Apollo, he uttered unknown words. That was the prophecy. The prophecy, of course, was always accurate. long, hairy hair, and slight details became very important. But excavated.
So
Look at the
500
outside.
BC.
Yes, we understand. With some golden objects. The first statue on your left is the statue of Apollo. This is how they pictured of Apollo. The second one is the ruined. Probably it's the statue of their mother, Leto. I told you the story in golden layers, 18 gold. You know that it's coming from the eastern side, not solid. And it's the statue of a bull. It does not represent any religious, nothing. It was not a sacred animal in ancient Greece. It was symbol of fertility, like it was in the Roman period as well. That's the one right there. It's written in French, Trésor des Athéniens. It's because of the French archaeological school that excavated here. Something that I didn't tell you, parts are differently at Delos room. His hair like that, which proves that he has long hair. In other drawings, he has the gods. And there is a black crow. There was a ask me metopes. The metopes are the authentic ones are right here. In here we have the labors of Theseus. Theseus was the mythical prince of Athens. He was a creature. He wanted 6 men and 6 women every year in order to be fed. And because the Athenians, they have made several crimes on the island of Crete, instead that, because it's a muscle, and when women are so well exercised, they usually don't have curves. They say that they were so tough that they would even cut their breast off in order to be better in the archery event. They were living in females. How do I know that the long jump was different? There is one complex of bronze objects,
Judge
the snake,
declaring the winner.
bronze sculpture of the 5th.
Incense burner.
And they were about his feet, the center of the world. Even philosophers would dedicate. Philo means I love. Sophie, Sophia in Greek is wisdom. So the dancers are very pretty. You've seen the night. Because the slight smile disappears slowly, but you can see their expression. Figure of their body, 300 years BC. And I think Eros is a Greek name. Chronologically, the Roman period, instead of having their Adrian. If you very much exactly
Melancholy Roman.
That's why it looks so
very soon he will be encircled and he will be congratulated and people will start clapping their hands and dancing. He knows that he will be enjoying privileges very soon that no other men enjoy, but he has this calm expression, his cheeks, which means that he is not a teenager but an adult. His toes are prime. As you're coming out that way, the exit is on your right.
in place. 5 statues of bronze, so that's it. Only one here and 4 now.
Besides Apollo, because the circular building is rich for 5. There are also
Circular
temples,
temple.
and there are also some smaller buildings. Not enough space up there, and this is why they brought some of the treasuries right here. And Athena, in this specific place, she was worshipped as the goddess of Hygeia. Hygeia in Greek is health. Hygiene is a Greek word again. It comes out of the Greek word hygeia, which means health. Do I those rocks to fall down? This place was not destroyed because of invasions. No, it was. They would come through the forests. We believe, we don't have proofs, we believe that there were actually soldiers living here, and they lived here in order to protect the sanctuary of Apollo. So since the soldiers were here,
Apollo temple.
Poseidon, thank you, and Mars.
It doesn't flush.
So I think we need to tomorrow, but let me take a soldier was taken. Greeks were certain that they have not gone all the way. We do have birds. Are you going to set on top of the hill? It's almost impossible to know where we're talking about 480 BC.
Statue of Leonidas, who led the Greeks in a war against the Persians. The Persians defeated the Greeks in the War of Thermopylae. It represents the mountain. This phrase means come and get them. This is what Leonidas, Persians, they're not going to surrender. The Persians will have to come and get them. The statue represents the river. The statue represents the Thespians with their one wing cut off. And the Thespians are local people who didn't really want to fight with the Greeks. But Leonidas forced them to fight. They just represent that the Thespians really wanted to fly off. And lesbians, Leonidas cut one wing off. That made them, that forced them to fight with the Greeks against the Persians.
So what?
The mountain landscape has changed. It's more flat here.
I was trying to approach them, talk to them. No, they wouldn't say much. They were not aggressive, but they were not polite either. So I dropped that a long time ago. This place on your right was one of the settlements that they now have abandoned. Another story. Use with my. Can I hear? You have to tell us about this medication from now on.
Every medication I priced is substantially less.
Substantially less. Thank you very much.
And without a prescription.
We treat it for free, yes. But you know what? Most likely we wouldn't like you to go to the public hospital.
3-year.
I wouldn't like you to go there. Why? We want to show you the best part. Why do you have to go through that, right?
Scenery at the restroom area. Scenery.
Quickly,
Sunday,
even when it was
7.
dark, in order to make sure to find the safe. Today,
Lots of
those of you who are
Kalambaka.
going to Santorini, some of you, you asked me to tell you a few things about Santorini, and of course it does snow here. The view, if you have a guide, 6 remain in a relatively... Some of the monasteries, they were Muslim Germans who here. I know that you haven't seen many animals. Some people were 300 to 400 sheep and goats. And usually in our country, men get a house. If the parents can afford that, the ladies would get a house.
There are lots of Kalambaka.
What's the name of the monastery? That's Castrati.
Matura Monastery.
Except Matura. Lato.
Napavome, which means in that monastery, we have more than that. The church is very... They have chosen complete isolation. The manuscripts, the monasteries. The monastery we are going now, if you're wondering about photos, and I know you're trying to do it now, believe me, where you will be able to get photos, much better photos than... So I was telling you that the monasteries were destroyed in 1940. Now that we are...
Monastery of Varlam.
So you can see a little more.
Santa Barbara, whatever. Russian too much.
Let's start here. Okay, now that we open in the morning for the meal, and then just before they go to bed, around 6:30 in the afternoon. That is the monastery, the last letter of the Greek alphabet, Alpha, Omega. You know that probably because of fraternity college, Alpha, Omega, Beta, all those, the Greek alphabet gave the inspiration for fraternities. We don't have any here. So our 3 fingers, like that, west and east. That's very important, you know. So it's true.
Is wine casket. The monks used to keep wine. And getting as far back as possible.
Yeah.
And things like that. But that monastery, the second one, Santa Barbara. The third one, Barlam, the one we are now. Fourth one, Great Angel. That in our church we have Joseph in every iconography with Virgin Mary, Trinity. That's another. We don't use the word Christism because it comes from the Greek here, and they go to places that Paul, disciple Paul, has been.
Because it's complicated.
Your friend?
Yes, please.
Nunnery. We are going to the nunnery of Simpson on my own, never with a NY. But it's pretty, middle of nowhere, and I believe you. Please.
Yeah, we love it. Okay, I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
Exactly what.
Magro, she's going there. No, மேல போறாங்க. லாமினா போ. Different sides. Okay, that's just it.
Than something on the road, on the ground. So yes, there are effects an earthquake. It was. You will see much better. The monastery now of the Holy Trinity was filled.
The movie For Your Eyes Only was filmed here.
This is where we saw the twins.
I asked him, Agios Stephanos, Saint Stephen.
St. Stephen's Nunnery.
It's quite flat, everybody.
We'll be down there.
They collapsed so people don't know. The first with scarpeos, pools. That will be the last thing I'm going to tell you.
You can see the dried out river in the background.
Another one by the bus.
Let's go. Where the hell are
Cat food.
Okay.
you get there?
This really looks like an animal's back. In the back of the stomach.
The faces at the Byzantine technique, you have to know, has to be neutral, the faces. Also the gold leaf, carefully to cover all the surface.
What's happening? Why are you laughing?
It's funny. You have to share the joke with all of us.
Share the joke with all of us, yeah. Can't do that, okay. Very nice. Okay, as I was saying, the taverna is the oldest taverna in town, the decoration, and I will give you the time of departure.
And that you say.
You'll visit with him, not with me.
How do you look?
It wasn't day one, it was first.
Oh, the young newlywed.
That's average. I see. Nobody was
Maki and souls. So there won't be any problem. They are doing that every week, and your flight most from the hotel to the airport is at 8 Kilodonks, an amazing destination. It's an island in the middle of the sea, no island into the major, the 60 euros, so always you want to know whether it's true or not. And according to our score, we succeed in college, and then as a result, not to have those technical jobs anymore, such as electrician.
We are going to Delos by ferry.
Half an hour.
Half an hour ride.
This is Delos, where we are going. Water looks almost black. This is the island of Delos. Agora.
Agora of the Delos.
Of what? Agora of the capital state. Stova di Filipe. This looks like a row of houses.
So this island is an island of granite and schist. All those.
Agora Italiana. Portico Filipe V, 3rd century BC.
And so on the short sides, there and there,
Propolis. Two rows of columns, one on the right, 3rd century BC, second one on 2nd century BC.
wind, which we always have on these islands, it fell over. And that is why, since it fell on the stack, how come? It fell again, it broke, and only parts of it.
Present?
They had offered the nude statue of a man as the offering from the Naxians to Apollo the god. This is only the base of it, that's not remains. they have found the parts of the big human that they created, but it's not here. It's where they found it.
This is where the temple of Apollo was. Temple of Delians, the great temple. Temple of Athenians.
This side. These are pieces of the Kuros, the statue offered to Apollo by the Naxians. This is where they found the things, so they haven't put them together. These are all parts of it. Some part is in the British Museum, and some another part is in the museum here.
The Boros temple. Agora of the Italians. Agora of the Italians. The tomb. The lions of the Naxians. The lions of Naxians. The Roman columns. Quarters of the lake.
And then on the further left is quarter.
There was a lake here, it's called the Crystal Lake.
primero. Mira what you want to do.
Hera Vartma, 25 again. Could it be the temple of Hera?
Could
Could
be.
be. One
Looks like the temple. Temple of Isis.